Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
X.
2-2.
2-2.
3-4.
Oh, you got to be different, haven't
He
you?
had to go off piste.
Oh, of course she did. You can flick. She's flicking visas. It's big size. You see that?
That's a human resources issue.
She just flicked visas.
She did.
I'm offended.
I am too.
My personal freedom's been infringed.
As a man, I feel disgusted.
I feel put down by woman.
Yeah.
Get on with it.
Do you see what she did to us then? Do you see how she dismissed our complaints? This is an issue now.
Arrogance.
A culture of bullying existed. One woman like a cat bullying dogs. Okay, coming up on today's on this week's podcast,
yes,
we've got beer clipping and hair transplants. I won't tell you what happens there. We've got a very evil-looking Christmas tree. We've got some random graffiti, some of which is the best things I've ever known. I've ever heard on radio ever.
So funny.
Just really good. We've got some dangerous chihuahuas. It sounds unlikely, but it's true. Gav's Heroes, they're in there.
Yes.
And we've got the still reigning NXT wrestling champion, Finn Balor. He's on the show as well. So enjoy the podcast. I think there's something there for us to be a bit proud of, but I'll wait till the end.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
X.
Over the weekend, I've done some beard trimming.
Yeah.
Beard trimming. And
It looks very nice, by the way.
But you know what the annoying thing is? Si was giving me tips. Our leader, Big Si. Obviously, not little Si. Can't grow a beard. That's Si with a beard. A culture of bullying. Okay, here we go. So I was trimming the beard. Do you know what I did? I found I can't get you can't get the moustache bit with regular clippers because they've got the big bits on the end.
Right.
So you end up going up the nostril with two of them, the guards, and I just can't get to it. And then I moved the nose over, and I tried to go from the side, and then I just caught my lip. It was really painful, right between the grills. I don't think I was going to get any tips for that one. But anyway, I was looking at my hair, and I was looking at all the hair down there. So I picked up the hair from the beard and started placing it on my head. Just as I was alone, I had some minutes to go. No, I did, just to see what I'd look like with hair.
Please tell me you took a photo.
I didn't. No, I didn't. Of course I didn't. What, just so I could humiliate myself later.
Yes.
Did bad enough on my own. Anyway, so I was sprinkling the hair clippings on my head.
Just to
round
see.
there, just to fill in around the island at the top of the head.
Right.
And because it just stopped receding.
Yeah.
About 15 years ago. That's it. It just won't do any more than that. It's just left me in a state of mid-recession.
Yeah.
And it just won't go fully, so I just think I can commit to like bicking it, or it won't stay. It's like it's listening to the Clash. I don't know if it'll stay or go. Anyway, but I was looking at it, I was suddenly thinking, well, as I looked at my head, I suddenly thought, well, it looks like that hair from my beard has come from a different animal to me.
Yeah.
Because it's not like armpit hair, or it's
Doesn't
not
look
like,
like
it just
yeah.
it looked like it's sort of animal. It was quite weird. I didn't want to brush it all off before I went to the pub. I was like a local lunatic. You know, he shaves his beard and sticks it on his head, don't you? Nutcase. He's an absolute nutcase. Anyway, but then I started thinking, well, if I could get a hair transplant, why limit myself to human hair? I mean, I don't want to start ages ago. I was sort of saying to Gav that I'd quite like to look like that bird who was in Space 1999. That man who had that folk, or was it?
I can't remember.
It was
It's
one
about
of them.
Star Trek.
No, it was one of them, and he had like a feathered head.
Oh, feathery.
Yeah, it was. Or was it Battlestar Galactica? It's Battlestar
Yeah.
Galactica. He had a feathered head, sort of. But I wouldn't mind feathers.
Feathers would look
a feathered head would be quite cool, or mink hair.
Or suede.
No, I wouldn't mind suede. It'd be great.
Yeah, if you could get it in the shape you wanted.
Yeah,
that's
but I then started thinking, what dog type? If it became, what would I have? I wouldn't mind going.
Would you have Jeff's hair?
No, I wouldn't know because Jeff's got such smooth hair. He's got, but it's too smooth. I wouldn't stop brushing it. But I maybe like a border terrier.
Hey.
I know what I'd choose because I'm
Scotty dog.
losing my hair as well.
Well,
I would go for a Ridgeback.
Would you? With a proper
Yeah,
ridge down?
with the ridge.
Do you know what? Every time I see the ridge on a ridgeback, it's sort of fascinating. You think, okay, I get about interbreeding, but how do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you just get a stripe? How does it know?
Without a really talented barber.
Right, well, why can't they do that with us? If they can do that with a dog, then I've got to be able to get a permanent mohawk.
Yeah.
Or something.
That'd be good.
Anyway, I think I'd go for maybe a long-haired Jack Russell.
Or some mink.
No, mink could be great, Gav.
Mink. Or scales, like crocodile scales.
No, what am I talking about? The animal with the thickest fur on Earth.
What is that?
The Arctic river otter.
Yeah.
Oh, man. No, Arctic sea otter, sorry. The Arctic sea otter. Right, it's thickest hair in the animal kingdom. It even beats the chinchilla, which is some going. I've done some research, believe me.
X. Radio X.
I've just read about the best job swap, and I'm sort of envious, and I think we could do a good radio show from there. They say if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. A former burger flipper did just that and quit McDonald's to become a caretaker in Antarctica.
A caretaker?
Yup.
Wow.
Jack Gordon was working in a branch of the fast food chain in Glasgow when he spotted an advertisement on Facebook for the job at the British Antarctic Survey based near the South Pole.
Wow.
It's right near the pole itself, and you get to see it. Wow. After beating more than 120 other applicants for the post, Mr. Gordon swapped his T-shirt and baseball cap for a thermal survival suit to begin his 6-month stint as a night watchman. But you wonder, you have your night watch. What are you watching out for?
Yeah.
It's like a break-in.
Maybe polar bears?
Penguins?
I don't know if they have them down there.
No.
Not by the South
the
Pole.
Wrong pole.
I don't know.
North Pole thing.
I once interviewed Sir Ranulph Fiennes. He said one of the worst things about polar, when there's only two of you in polar regions, is that he was exploring with a guy who was a doctor. And they both hadn't spoken to each other for about 3 days. They suddenly realised that the only other person with him on the ice was not only capable of writing, he'd had a big row with him, so they really had fallen out. But the only other person there for about however many thousand miles not only was qualified to write him a death certificate, but actually had a 44 Magnum on him in case he got attacked by polar bears. He suddenly thought, this is really risky. I mean, this is just two of us here. He could definitely get away with this.
Yeah, he could.
Yes.
And
Cause
people
of
would
death,
trust him.
Fell down a crevice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a doctor.
Anyway, this guy, he's described his new role 10,000 miles from home as the change he needed after 5 years serving burgers. It's the best job in the world by far, he said. I've gone from a busy McDonald's to the quietest place on earth. When you look at the sky on a freezing night, it's pitch black. The silence is deafening. When I do the night watch, I'm the only one awake in a base of more than 60 people. He's on the night. What is he watching
What is
for?
he watching for? Yeah.
Penguins.
But the silence is deafening.
I don't think I'd like that.
Well, I've just seen The Thing, you know.
Yeah.
And almost, because you think it can't go turn to custard there. It can.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
the dog,
vicious. That thing in The Thing is
the
vicious.
huskies all start barking, and
Dude.
I wonder what that is. The night watch. Because I mean, he's the first to go, really low in the credits. It's like there always is night watch, isn't it? So go, what's that over there? Oh, you better go and check it out, Bob. Yeah, I'll go check it out.
And never comes back.
Oh, may as well check it out. I was going out there anyway. Take a rain check. Now they swagger. That's
right.
it.
History.
Yeah. And they sort of say, wait a second, what's this weird ectoplasm on the ground? It's like sort of snotty substance, and they just peer under something. Hey, what? Oh, what are you doing? What the? Yeah, right.
Definitely safest
Gone.
at McDonald's.
Yeah, I think it. Well, I was talking about McDonald's then, actually.
Oh, right.
Back to the Antarctic.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
Over the weekend, I was trimming my beard. I moved some of the beard hair onto my head just to give myself a sneak preview of what a hair transplant might look like. It looked unusual because I clearly did two different hair types going on there. And I've got quite a bit of white in my beard. And then I thought to myself, what animal would I most like then? Why do I have to be limited by human hair?
Yes.
I don't particularly like my hair. I was not attached to it. And evidently it wasn't that attached to me.
Yes.
So what would I go for? For a while I thought mink.
Because that's very luxurious.
Arctic sea otter.
Yeah.
Thickest hair in the animal. Because I really like it thick.
Yeah.
Like a sort of samurai. You know how it's thick, like it looks like paint.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that look, man.
Or the
And it-
Trump look you could go for.
No, I don't want that look, Gav. But I was wondering what animal I'd go for. Vicky in Lawford says, got to go with badger hair, Johnny. Thank you very much. Also, Dave on the 4 says, best animal mullet would surely be the leopard mullet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, if Stringfellow could have had that.
Dave also suggested zebra hair because he said it's formal when you need it to be, with black tie.
Yeah.
But also you could get your rock and roll on if you tease it up
Yeah,
a
absolutely
bit.
right. Absolutely right. There is that with zebra hair. Yeah, that's very good. Suns, what do you think you'd go for?
I'd like something long, so maybe like Afghan.
A dog, the Afghan hound.
Yeah. Because
Okay,
I
can
can't
see
think of any, like, maybe like a wacky coloured frog.
But if
or
we were going to do a
something.
band like Kiss, but we're based on dog hair,
Yeah.
what you'd be the Afghan?
Yeah.
Gav, what would you be in
I'm
our
sticking
band?
with Ridgeback.
You'd be the Ridgeback.
Just so the
drummer.
mohawk, permanent little mohawk there.
I think we need like an old English sheepdog hair man on keyboards
Yeah.
in our Kiss dog band.
Yes. With different makeup for dog faces.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah.
Oh, and you'd want someone with like a labradoodle. Curls
Yes. Very
coming
good.
out.
Very excellent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. I think I don't know. I do still. I don't know if there's a place in our dog band. I might still. Maybe we'll expand it to woodland creatures.
Okay.
And I'll be a badger.
Is the band called Crufts instead of Kiss?
That's a great name for them with a K.
Yeah, Crufts.
Cruff.
With 2 S's at the
Cruffs.
end. Or Z's.
No, Cruffs. The lightning flashes. That'd be fantastic. I mean, on stage, at any stage, anyone in the crowd just cocks their leg at any stage, and that's just part of the crowd, the culture.
Yeah.
Bit weird.
And all the support bands would be puppies.
People just passing those little poo bags to each other. Stage shows. You got any bags on you? They just do it anyway. It's fine. It's part of the culture of the band. Go and get a bowl of beer.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
Okay, what do you want to hear about? Deadly chihuahuas or the most tastelessly decorated Christmas tree
Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the deal. This made me really laugh. A vicar was horrified to find. Guess what volunteers had used to decorate a Christmas tree in the church?
In his church.
Yeah.
Tinsel.
No, what wouldn't you sling on a Christmas tree? Ever.
Sausages.
No, it's good. It's less festive than that.
Mash.
Okay, key phrase:
Drink.
mashed potato.
Onion gravy.
Onion gravy on a Christmas tree.
Very
Just
weird.
pour onion gravy on it. That's mad. Sausages mashed and onion gravy. Well, I quite like it. Something Heston Blumenthal would serve.
With
Toilet paper.
Did I tell you I saw Heston Blumenthal in it? No, it's not toilet paper, no. Did I tell you I saw Heston Blumenthal in a bar in the West End?
No.
And he was walking along and he was holding some cocktail with things coming out of it. And I said to him, don't tell me, it's a bacon sandwich. He didn't laugh at all. But I really did. And I was still chuckling as I went home. Anyway, a vicar was horrified to find that volunteers used 200-year-old human bones
What?
to decorate a Christmas tree. I know, it's not Mexico.
Where did they get
Do you know
them?
what I mean? I mean, in Mexico, there's like a day when they do that.
The Day of the Dead.
That's All Saints Day, isn't it? But they do actually. I quite like Day of the Dead. If they're going to revive anything, have you ever been in Mexico for that
No.
day? Oh, it's a great day. They celebrate everyone who's died who you've loved.
Right.
And in some villages, they literally dig up dead bodies and they polish their bones every year. And
Yeah.
they sit with them and drink.
Yeah.
And they surround themselves with photographs of everyone they've loved who passed away, and they have a whole day
Wow.
just having a drink up with the dead.
Yeah.
I think that's genius.
Very thorough.
No, but I'd nick that. I put it this way, I'd take that over a lot of the other sort of card festivals that become modern.
What, like Valentine's and...
Yes, Hallmark card things,
Yeah.
yes. Anyway, the tree was topped with a skull.
A real
it's
one.
like a real
real
human
s-
skull.
Where did they find this stuff?
Well, I'll tell you.
Go on.
And it was decorated with leg bones, ribs, and vertebrae. Do you know who decorated it? Friends of Great Yarmouth Cemeteries.
Really?
Yes. It was their humorous entry to a Christmas tree festival. Canon Chris Terry did not see the funny side and asked for the bones, which were donated by a local doctor. What's he doing with them?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you take things out, but you very rarely just sort of just going to nick a bit of bone out. Really, a skull.
Yeah,
What the
or
hell are those,
entire
Doc?
skeleton.
Yeah, no, I took your whole back. I took the lot, all 33 vertebrae. I've now got them as like worry beads. Anyway, they've been replaced by star and baubles. The vicar said, we thought it was more appropriate in a church. That's what the vicar said. I don't know, I'd quite like that though. I think it's kind of a cool image. Sunta,
It's pretty rock and roll.
it's really rock and roll.
Very rock and roll.
Johnny Vaughan.
Radio
X.
Radio X.
Random graffiti, seemingly meaningless. Random graffiti. Why don't you send it in to us? Ba-da-da-da. Okay, ready for this? It all started when I saw the word lager written on a wall in New York-style subway graffiti. It was near Clapham.
Yeah.
Lager. Then you sent in your examples of odd and even meaningless graffiti. Last week, as you know, we now have the legendary Big Steve thinks that Quidditch is real. But please, get him in. 83936. Here's some good stuff we've had in. I'm going to do straight up. This is right off the bat. Johnny, in Brighton, there's a wheelie bin against the wall, and written in paint on the wall it says, "Do not look in here," with a down arrow pointing at the bin lid. How many times does that lid get opened? It's genius, isn't it?
What could you put in there?
It's like that opening scene in Repo Man with the boot.
Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
I wouldn't go looking in there if I were you. Go on, Gav.
I had one earlier in the week from at Dartford 1973 on Twitter. It's a wall. I don't know where it is, but it says in big white Dulux, Jesus, no name is higher. And then someone has painted above Jesus, Dave.
Nice. And only Dave would have done that.
That's right.
Okay, team. This says hi, team. It's to all of us.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Not hi, Johnny, so I'm sharing it with you two as well.
Okay.
My favourite graffiti of all time is Jesus is Coming, under which someone has written, quick everyone, look busy. That's Chris from London, which is quite good. It's a bit Radio 4, but I think we can get away with it. Suns.
Ian Hill has sent this one in. Johnny, seen scrawled on a bench in
That's
Sale.
to me. That's to me.
That's just to you.
Okay, go on.
Many years ago, I saw the phrase, Dawn has hairy toes.
That's a beautiful thing. Okay, random graffiti, scrawled in a back street in Lee, the immortal words, Elvis did the roof. Fantastic. Here's an absolute beauty. In 3-foot-high letters in a Sainsbury's car park in Camden, James has texted us to say, just says, Trisha is here.
Is here.
Is here.
Always here.
Yes, Trisha is here. In an awful hotel just outside Stoke, in the toilet cubicle, off the lobby, abandon all hope. I already had, said Tom. Thank you very much, Tom. Also, genius. Afternoon, everyone. On a wall in Stratford, some random graffiti read, without art, Earth is just air. Thank you very much, Mike from Suffolk.
okay.
Clap it in.
Intellectual
brilliant.
random
No, it's just
graffiti.
too much. It's too much for us to understand. Go on.
Christina in Bolton says there's a bridge between Blackrod and Horwich with the graffiti Stinky Bridge. It's near a former landfill site.
It just says Stinky Bridge.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
Current NXT wrestling champion Finn Balor.
Hey, thanks for having us on, fellas.
Just for people out there who don't know what NXT is, just explain the difference between NXT and why that has been different to WWE, even though it's under the umbrella of.
Well, it's under the umbrella of WWE, but it's really more like a rock and roll wrestling show.
Well, that'll suit Radio X.
Yes, really well,
You know,
really well.
So it's kind of like, you know, that independent band, or real kind of cool indie band,
Yeah.
or has that real underground feel, that real kind of organic.
And how does that spill over into the violence? No, how is the violence more rock and roll? I'm interested. I mean, I know my listeners will want to know that. How can we get involved with rock and roll violence?
It's really the energy in the building, you know. It's
Yeah.
the energy the fans bring to the show, and and you know, the obviously the talent feed off that, and it's something really special that has to be witnessed by everyone.
Okay, well, what sort of moves then are sort of characteristically different, or is it just in the attitude of the wrestlers?
Yeah, it's really very much in the attitude of the wrestlers. There's very much, you know, a chip on the shoulder of everyone at NXT with something to prove.
Okay.
And that really comes out in the ring, you know.
It's such a cracking. What would you say recommends it as a cracking night out? I mean, for me, it's the most pure form of theatre.
Oh, absolutely. For me, it's art, you know. It's expressionism, and you know, it is theatre as well. It's entertainment, sports entertainment.
Why did you get into it?
Big Daddy, Giant Haystacks.
Yeah.
I was watching it
But this
back when I
lot
was
isn't
a
anything
kid.
like what we're talking about here. Then that lot, were they on when you were a kid? This like, you know, what you do is nothing like those.
It's a
kind
whole
of
different
guys.
league,
It's
isn't
a
it?
different
Yeah,
league. There was sort of British wrestling, and it was quite
Well, more like
you know.
Panto, wasn't it? In the old days, yeah.
Yeah, obviously the business has developed and, you know, transformed.
I'll say.
Transformed over
This
over
has
the
some
last couple of
large
years.
men with swimming trunks on. Just fat blokes with swimmers. Yes, it has.
No, they're all athletes now, properly, aren't they?
No, well, now those sort of guys get helped in. Down ramps. Seriously, they get special entrances open for them. They get helped in. You know, back then they were fighting. Okay, sorry, Sons.
What do you do when you're not wrestling? How do you chill out?
Believe it or not, I like to play Lego.
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Lego, which means I build.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
I think.
I break things for a living, and then
And what's been your biggest Lego achievement?
well, I built the Imperial Destroyer, the Star Wars Imperial
You're
Destroyer.
joking.
yeah.
How big was it? How big was
It's
it?
a big one.
Yeah, it's a
That's a
decent
big
sized one.
achievement.
My favourite one's the pirate ship.
The pirate ship's
Excellent.
good. Yeah, have you done
Pirate
Tower
ship's
Bridge?
But no,
That's
not
a
yet,
big
no.
undertaking.
Yeah.
Would you take on the Death Star or just not bother? My son got it. It's still in millions of pieces. We never
Yeah.
got to it. We just never got to it.
I must admit, I don't really enjoy building the Star Wars ones because the bricks are all the same colour. You know?
Yeah,
all
it's-
grey,
it's too
they're all
much.
grey bricks.
It's
yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. You just get blind to it. Don't you? Just get this grey blindness.
Block
It
blindness.
is a great way as you come near Christmas if you really hate someone, and they've got a kid.
Give them a set of bagpipes and the Star Wars.
The Star Wars
Lego.
Okay, listen, we're going to go. I really hope it goes well for you, and I hope you continue to. Do you think you're going to hold on to your belt? You think you're going to retain it?
Absolutely, 100%.
You're absolutely certain?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you're confident, I'm confident. It's been lovely talking to you. Best of luck at the NXT. I hope you retain the title.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
Random graffiti. Seemingly randomless.
Random graffiti.
Random graffiti.
Seemingly randomless.
Random graffiti. Really well done.
Okay, let's start again, or no? We'll just
Let's crack
It's
on.
random. Doesn't matter. We're in random world now.
Yeah.
There's a West Ham fan who has a flag that simply says, "I've got chickens in the backyard."
Is that a euphemism or?
I don't know. Who knows what it means? But it's just good as it stands. In Estonia, Paul from Manchester saw graffitied, "Get to the chopper." Genius. Sunt, hit us.
Poppy sent this one in. Hey, Puppy.
Puppy.
Puppy. Yes.
Or Poppy.
Puppy, like a small dog.
Okay, I can't. Because sometimes you've got really very thick accents, and I can't. Go on.
This is to all of us. Hey, at Radio X.
You needn't do that.
Vegetarians can be scumbags too.
Absolutely right. Hitler was a
Spotted
veggie.
on all.
Hitler was a veggie.
Wow.
Vegetarian dog lover.
I got one here from Stuart. To all, I was on a train in Ipswich and saw big letters, "Question everything," and someone underneath had written, "Why?"
That's genius. It's a set-up and a punch.
It is.
I once saw writing on a wall in Gorton saying, "Planty is a nutter."
Planty is a nutter.
Planty is a nutter. Very good. It's just right. Years ago, a genius spray painted this on a bridge in my hometown of East Grinstead. It said, "Fat Fred is fat."
Fat Fred is fat.
Yeah, Fat Fred is fat.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
5 to 5. Why are you laughing, Gaff? Why are you laughing?
I've just seen a brilliant bit of graffiti.
Go on, one more bit of random graffiti before I tell my story.
In a pub, this is from Sam. In a public cubicle toilet, I saw, "I got a job as a triangle player in a reggae band. I just stand at the back and ting."
Me just stand at the back and ting, yes. I was just going to tell you, I've been looking at all the Star Wars hype, and it reminds me when one of the first, just after about the third Star Wars, I was on a train going to Leicester, one of those local branch lines, so like two car job, and two carriage. And I overheard this kid, he must be about 15, and he was talking to this 12-year-old kid who was with him. It might be his brother or friend or whatever. They're going from like a small town to Leicester. And his kid said to him, he said to this little kid, he goes, "I'm going to tell you something, right? And this is to go on no further." At which point he swore, "You promise me. You promise me." And the little kid's going, "Promise?" He goes, "You won't tell a soul if I tell you this now. You won't tell a soul." He's going, "No, what?" He goes, "I'm only Jedi." And this little kid went, "Really?" He went, "Yeah, you don't tell anyone. You do not tell anyone."
I'm Jedi.
Yeah. He used the F word before it, actually.
Did he?
Yeah, I'm only Jedi, aren't I?
That's a great
He's
lie.
the only kid who believed it. He just wanted to tell someone.
Find himself a 12-year-old.
Great
I
lie.
bet he's now a 35-year-old man still telling people that.
It's me. No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
X. Radio X.
I've got some bad news as well for Chihuahua owners. It may be the smallest breed of dog in the world, but the Chihuahua gives its owners the biggest bill for its destructive behaviour.
Really? What, does it chews the sofa up or
I
something?
can't believe it either. The Chihuahua causes, on average, £866 worth of damage across its lifetime.
That's a lot.
It rips up or stains carpets, scratches, chewing sofas, digging up plants and flower beds. Another small dog breed, the Dachshund, leaves the owners with an average bill of 810 quid.
Wow. And we're not counting dog food and vet bills.
No, obviously,
Just
that's a
damage.
very cheap dog, Gav.
Yeah, that's right.
You're
Yeah,
830 quid for
Really
entire life. That's
cheap.
that done. I got it.
yeah, pay in
Anyway,
advance.
other breeds that were marked for their destructive properties include the Boxer, Dalmatian, Bulldog, Great Dane and Husky. Can I just make a case for Bulldogs being much more destructive than Chihuahuas?
You have a bulldog?
I've had this my second one, yeah, and they chew anything.
Really?
They're just a life support system for a jaw, rather like their owner. And
Crocodile.
thank you very much. That's all they are. I caught Jeff, start with a G. I'm thinking, what is he eating? He's eating something down there right now. What's he eating? Because you hear the noise, you say,
He's chewing something.
You see this little noise they make. They got the default chewing undertone. and I heard this noise in the garden. I just peered over the little wall. It's just off where the patio ends. And I just peered over the wall. He was chewing the steps. They're made of brick.
What, stone?
He was chewing bricks. He was actually chewing a brick. Just like
He was getting something out of it. That's so weird.
Yeah, he's eaten my stairs. He's eaten the bottom stair.
Wow.
He did not just the carpet. He's eaten the stair.
He's really into stairs and steps.
No, just like because it's just a really good height. Do you know why? Because he's got a heavy head. He likes to rest his head on somewhere.
You should get him his own hod.
So he finds places to prop his head on. My children are normally really good if they're on sofas. They provide a perfect height for him to prop.
Yeah.
So he just props his head. But honestly, if I go to bed at night, he'll be in there already because he finds pillows perfect to prop heads, which is what they're designed for, so I can only blame them. But he's obviously watched me and thinking, I'm not going to let it go Johnny to do it. I'm going to leave up make a juice for it, Jeffrey.
He's a very posh bulldog.
He's a very posh bulldog. He solves local crimes when I'm not there.
X. Radio X.
Can I tell everyone just to calm down a bit with Major Tim?
Why?
Firstly, you should have called him Major Tim anyway, given the fate of Major Tom.
Yeah, it's not a good
I'd hate that. You know they're calling you Major Tim. I'd be like, oh, cheers. Oh, cheers.
But he is actually a former major, and his name is Tim.
I know it is, but still, you know what the association, you know what I mean,
Yes,
though.
yes,
I don't
I
want to
know
be, you
what
know what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
I just couldn't believe that they took off. They blasted off at 11 this morning.
Yeah.
And they're at the International Space Station. I just thought it took a bit longer than that to get to
space starts 62 miles away. Yeah, that's when you've no longer got air enough to sustain things. Where he's gone is an orbit 250 miles up. It's like London to York with no traffic.
Well, that's what I thought it was going to be further than here to Manchester.
I know, but he's just driving really in the fast lane there as well.
No,
He's got a rocket.
Once you hit space, it's like reaching the M25.
Yeah.
Before you go to
the orbital.
I'm so confused. I thought it was a long way away.
No.
Yes, space is like, well, no, not quite.
It's like reading the services.
It's about Leicester.
Services. Yeah.
It's about Luton.
It is.
Space is like Luton on the way to York.
If you're leaving London to York, yeah.
Yeah, about there, yeah. A bit before Leicester. Say Rugby.
Yeah.
On the way to York on the M1.
and York is where the space station is, yeah.
Yes, York's where the space is. It's only 250 miles away, that's it.
That's really confusing.
Oh, no, it's really near. Well, put it this way.
Very near.
When I did a programme about this for Radio 4, I don't want to discuss it, but I did. I got a Science Writers Award, but I don't want to discuss that either. Anyway, we've entered the space race. But just to say, where we've gone, this is how far it's gone, is the 62 miles we live out. The Earth's atmosphere goes on about 62 miles. Do you know that's exactly the same proportions? Next time you're holding a grape, right? This guy told me on this programme. Next time you're holding a grape, look at the skin of the grape. That's the bit we live in.
That's the thickness of the atmosphere.
Yes, that's exactly the skin to a grape is the same thickness as the Earth's atmosphere is to Earth.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
That's thin.
Oh, I can't take all this today.
Yeah, you can. That's not a hard analogy.
No, that's quite easy.
You're the sweetheart of the newsroom.
No,
okay.
hang on. That's the thickness of the atmosphere.
Yes, the bit we live
to
in.
the grape.
Yes,
It's the skin of a grape.
Yeah. What you've done is you've mixed it. Our atmosphere is obviously thicker than the skin of a grape.
Right, okay.
Because otherwise my head would come higher than it.
Yes.
It would just be round my shoes, wouldn't it?
Under your shoes.
Under my shoes. So it's going to be higher than that. And the Earth is larger than a grape.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, oh God, just start it up. It's not what's bothering me. We'll explain during the song. I really don't. Thank you. Big size now drawing a diagram.
I wonder if they're bickering as much
That's
up
Earth.
there.
That's Earth. That's a grape. Before you think both are eggs.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
X.
Okay, I've got a story. You know, we get stories about people and they sort of say, "I've called up the council. They've done nothing."
Yeah.
So we've had recourse.
Well, because there's a tile loose on
We've
the roof.
been told we had recourse to go to a tribunal at the council, and they've told us that there was nothing. Okay, and you hear about these things, and there's often a case to answer. Yeah,
Yeah.
You sort of think, well, they're a bit out of order here. The council are being a bit slippery. Check this one. An inquiry has been launched in Russia. Now, I think it's in Russia. You got to remember, this is a country where a few years ago they had a big debate whether to categorise beer as being alcohol.
They weren't sure.
They used it to wean people off vodka. Beer is regarded as a soft drink in Russia.
They call it formula.
So let's always have that in our minds. That when they think a little Stern Flavor soft drink, a Coca-Cola, a beer,
Yes,
Just
soft
a
drink.
carbonated beverage. Anyway, an inquiry has been launched in Russia after a cruise missile went off course during a test and a chunk of it crashed through the roof of a block of flats.
Oh no.
Oh, God. Must have destroyed a whole flat.
Nobody was hurt, but 4 apartments were damaged, and the 3-storey building in the village of Nilsk in northwest Russia caught fire, forcing an evacuation. A source told the state news agency TASS. The source said that part of the missile had hit the building after being fired from a Navy test range nearby. They just don't check it out. It's just Russia, isn't it? Nah, it's fine. Doesn't matter if it is a house. Doesn't matter.
A few buildings.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, well, what does it matter? Doesn't bother us. Not like they can sue. Anyway, the point is, the Ministry of Defence said the accident happened during tests on one of its ranges, but it denied there'd been any destruction at all.
Oh, it didn't happen.
It just said
No,
no.
they just denied it.
Nope.
All these people in their flats saying, look, we know for a fact a missile's hit the flats, going, nope.
My flat is missing.
No, the missile might have gone, of course, but it's very unlikely it caused this.
How do you know?
Well, how else did the flats get ruined then? We've got 4 flats been blown away by a missile on the same time as you've lost a missile. I don't think there's a relationship between the two.
How do you know it's our missile?
Yeah, how do you Yeah, right, okay. They must have felt the injustice of that. We've seen a missile come in the house.
It can
We've got
only
test
be
train,
your
It
missile.
can only be yours. Well, it's not necessarily the truth. It's could be a range of problems and factors.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
REM, End of the World. I tell you what, you'd think it was the end of the world if you looked outside the windows here tonight, mates.
Wow.
The amount of stormtroopers out there. I'm not sounding like, I sound a bit like, on local radio.
Yeah.
They have those charity lights. You go, we got stormtroopers have all come down. We got stormtroopers here. We got Darth Vader. We got loads of Darth Vaders. Darth Vaders, give them all a wave. Hey!
It's the European premiere
It is.
of Star Wars The Force Awakens right outside the Radio X studio.
And there's pink lightsabers and blue lightsabers.
Really cheap.
flashing
There's some
away
really
out there.
cheap lightsabers there.
Yeah, there are.
I don't want to be a snob, but I splashed out for mine.
Oh, have you got
Did you?
a decent one?
I've got ones that really make the noise and really do it. Like have really good fights. But and also, what's really good about them is that when you turn them off in a dark room for a second, because of the trick of the light, it really is a lightsaber.
The trace of it is still
no,
there.
the trace of it goes and goes, and then you're in the darkness. You turn it on, and it really does turn on like a lightsaber.
It comes up. It doesn't just turn on. Excellent.
Yeah. I'd like a lightsaber steak knife.
Yeah, so it really work.
That would be
In
handy.
a Star Wars steakhouse, and you just go. Do you know, I was talking to Ewan McGregor about making the Star Wars films when they first happened, when he first got involved. And do you know what his real trouble was on set?
What?
He was going, when he had his lightsaber, because he'd just hold the thing, obviously there's no light coming out of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he couldn't stop making the... You got to stop it because your lips are looking really funny and everything. He's just sorry, I just can't stop making the noise, making believe it. He just couldn't stop going...
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
Okay, today's hero, Johnny, is a man called Ian Ashpole. Now, the reason I liked this guy, when you were a kid, did you ever do anything like jump off a wall holding an umbrella to see if it would soften the landing?
Yes, I did. Yes, I've done that. Gav, I still do experiments. I've never stopped.
Well, I used to do that sort of thing, and it just captured my imagination what this guy did.
Okay.
He was born in 1955, I presume he's still alive. He's an adrenaline sports junkie.
Nice.
Right. In 2001, he's a man who lists tightrope walking amongst his hobbies, but what he did was he floated 11,000 feet above the Cambridgeshire countryside attached to 600 helium-filled balloons.
I've always
I
wanted
read
to do
about this
that.
guy. I read about this guy. It's like he's the inspiration for Up, almost.
Well, inspired by the 56 Oscar-winning film
Oh, there we go.
The Red Balloon, he launched himself from a hot air contraption. I presume that's a balloon.
Can I say something, Gav?
Yeah.
Already I like the word contraption.
I know.
The word contraption is exciting, isn't it?
It is. And he rose a further 6,000 feet in 6 minutes, beating his previous best of 10,000 feet.
Nice.
Over Ross-on-Wye in 1998. Before parachuting, and this is the key thing, I suppose, you need a parachute, don't you?
Yeah, you do, yeah.
Because when he got up to 11,000 feet, the helium balloons began to burst like a machine
Yeah, they
gun
will. They'll
going.
do that.
Asked whether this was a record, a spokesman for the Guinness Book of Records said,
Yeah.
a record what?
It's a very good point. It's very good. Well, if you look at the Guinness Book of Records this year, you just make them up as you go along. It's just, honestly, the decline of that book.
It's not
one
the
of
same, is it?
It's one of the saddest things in our time. At the moment, I've gone back. I'm now reading 92 to 95's editions.
Because it's become benign, has
Because
it?
I just get so much more info out of it.
Yeah.
You get some great stuff. Now they just try and make it like a tablet. It's crap, is what it is. It's for morons.
Anyway,
if you listen to me, Guinness Book of World Records, I've been reading you since 1970. My dad's got me that a yo-yo every year. And I've got to tell you, the disappointment this year, my yo-yoing is getting better, but my record knowledge is going downhill fast. Now, get your act together, bring out a textbook, stop trying to act like a tablet and act like a book, a decent book with an index. Be proud of being a book. Permanent record. Be proud, Guinness.
And be proud of Ian Ashbowl. That's a brilliant stunt.
That's a great stunt. I remember I got into trouble as a kid for helping my neighbour Peter Harris, and he found his mum's wedding dress in the attic, and he got it out. And we had a tree at the end of this cul-de-sac we lived
And it
on.
looked a bit like a parachute, did it?
No, and we assisted him so he could jump from the tree to see if his mum's wedding dress would act as a parachute.
And
When
it
the
did
ambulance arrived. It was terrible. It's a really bad scene. He cut his chin really badly.
really bad
Luckily, my
scene.
mum's an ex-nurse. My mum managed to stitch his chin up. So it's really good in the end.
Useful.
Yeah, blood everywhere. Yeah, it's really good having a mum who's a nurse. If you had a childhood like mine, it was really handy. It stopped a lot of waiting around in A&E. Just do it at home.
Johnny Vaughan.
Radio
X.
Radio X.
I couldn't believe this when I saw it today. Sometimes you get a story that just restores your faith in a country. Sometimes you worry Australia's lost it. You get Australian yuppies come over here and they look. Australia's not all about that, mate. You know, the cliches of barbecues and lag, it's not right. It's a lot more than that. So you go to Sydney, it's sophisticated. And I really don't like the image. The whole what can I get you? That's more Kiwis. No, I'm joking. Okay, we go. Anyway, I read this today and it really restores all my faith in everything. Congratulations, Australia, my country of the day. Red-faced civil servants in charge of finances for Australia's most populous state have admitted using a long-lost gold nugget as a makeshift wicket for cricket games played
In the office.
corridors.
Office cricket.
Okay, 1, they play office cricket. 2, they're using the world's biggest gold nugget as the wicket. 3, that nugget was forgotten about because someone put it in a box. 4, no one opened the box to see what they were using as a wicket. 5,
Oh, they didn't know it was the nugget.
genius.
Did anyone say-
No. Employees of the New South Wales Treasury were astonished to find the Maitland Bar. Something I love about Australia, they just name things after whoever found them. Who found the bar? Maitland. It's the Maitland Bar. Right, let's move on.
And it's named after a pub as well.
Yes. There's also a huge... What's that desert called?
Oh,
My
I can't-
favourite desert.
I
It's called the
can't-
Great Big Desert.
Yeah, I can't remember what
There
it
is a desert in Australia. It's called the Great Big Desert.
The Great Big Empty or
The
something.
Great Big Empty Desert. Right, there's some springs here. What's your name? Alice. Alice Springs it is. Let's move on. Next, right, that hill looks broken. What should we call it? Broken Hill. Right, let's move on. Go. Just name it after the Queen. Move on. Okay, here we go. Employees of the New South Wales Treasury were astonished to find the Maitland Bar in an old box they'd used for years as their wicket. The 10.7 kilo nugget.
Didn't anyone notice it was that heavy?
No. Discovered in 1887 and believed one of the purest found, was put into the Treasury's care decades ago. And he goes, someone studiously decided they'd place it in a box. I love
Studiously.
I just love the fact that for Australians, sarcasm of this nature, it's just default.
It's automatic.
Yeah,
isn't
it looks like some joker studiously decided they'd place it in a box. Mike Baird, the state premier, revealed in a ceremony yesterday to mark the Nuggets' loan to a museum. The problem was they forgot to tell anyone, and the box became used as a hallway for hallway cricket. Something, incidentally, he in no way puts down.
No, it's a standard office practice.
Someone's used it for office cricket. Could you use something else, guys?
Yeah.
Not, could you stop playing cricket? Mr. Baird described the chunk, which has a gold content of 9 kilos, as absolutely magnificent. He then says, I have, for the record, asked Treasury to open every box they can find.
Sure.
Just in case.
X. Radio X.
It's the all-new phonetic alphabet! Today it is letters X and Y we're looking at. All new letters X and Y. We finished, I can say that last week we finished with umbongo, useless, udders and underpants. Vimpto, Velcro, virgin and vermin. This is vermin and bongo, sporrans. rucksack, Winky, Womble, Wizard, and Wagon Wheel. Today, it's X and Y. Z's gone. That is Zorro. We're looking at X and Y in our all-new phonetic alphabet. I can tell you now, X, very difficult letter.
It is, yeah.
We're down to Xerxes, Xenon, ex-wife, exterminate, Xanadu, and X-Files. Unless anyone's got any other nominees.
X-Express is just
No, that's a fine. Okay.
Exhibit.
So, no, I'm going to go for Xanadu.
Yeah.
Yep.
X-Files, should we keep that in or out?
I
Quickly.
think it's quite good, yeah.
Okay,
Put that in.
X-Files, Xanadu, exterminate, ex-wife.
Ex-wife is great.
Okay, ex-wife. We'll take out Xenon Xerxes. So it's ex-wife, exterminate, Xanadu, and X-Files. I'm closing the books on that now.
Okay.
Fine.
Someone did make a great suggestion. Gav, the Y one.
Which one?
Someone just suggested, just saying you could really confuse everything.
Oh, yeah.
And put for W, put Y.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a phonetic curveball. It really is. Imagine the lives that could be lost over communication errors with that one. Okay, here we go. We're now going to the Y's.
I've just seen Yahtzee, which I quite like.
Oh, Yahtzee's going in. That's really nice. Okay, here's the consideration. Here's the 9.
Yeah.
I've got Yoda, Yeehaw.
Yeehaw's brilliant.
Yeehaw!
This is Yeehaw! Umbongo. Quinoa mango.
Techno.
Techno. Yeehaw!
Because if you're using the alphabet all the time, you'd say techno really quickly every time. wouldn't you?
Techno. Yeehaw! Cheesy dongle. Okay, Yowza, which I like.
Yeah.
Yowza, I like. Yowza. I like that a lot. I want to tell you a tune. Yahtzee, Yeti, Yo-Yo, Yogurt, and Yoink. Yoink I like, but it's gone, although we might get Zoiks in for Z. We might have another runner there.
Yeah.
That's gone. Yogurt's gone. Yo-Yo, gone. Yeti, might keep. Yahtzee.
Yeah, quite like that.
Quite like Yahtzee. Yowza, that's it. Yardy's gone. Okay, so we're now down to Yeehaw, Yoda, Yowza, Yahtzee, it's Yahtzee or Yeti. Come on. We've got
I prefer Yahtzee.
I prefer Yahtzee. I think Yeti's too obvious.
Nice. In that case, we've got Yeehaw, Yoda, Yowza, and Yahtzee.
Wonderful.
Excellent. We're down to 4, and the X is there. Ex-wife, exterminate, Xanadu, and X-Files.
We've done the whole lot. We just
done
need
the
to
lot.
pick the
Bang.
ones we like now.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
I was reading Daily Mirror. 5 people have had to be got rid of from the Royal Navy. Do you know why?
Why?
Sleepwalking.
What do you mean?
They're sleepwalking around boats.
Were they already in the Navy?
They're already in the Navy, yeah.
So
And
then
they
it's
start-
discovered that they've got this affliction.
Yeah, they've got an affliction. They actually start sleepwalking around the boat. And if you've seen Step Brothers, that scene where they just start opening presents and doing stuff. You
Putting
think,
things in the oven.
you think on like a nuclear submarine.
That is
And
really
they suddenly
dangerous.
start just going through their drills. I'm putting in the keys.
Yeah.
I'm putting in my key. Turn.
button.
Launch trigger. Stop! You know you're not meant to wake them up.
Yeah, don't wake them up.
You are.
Yeah, there's a bomb.
5 sailors were given their marching orders last year after the Navy discovered they were sleepwalkers.
Wow.
The 5 were medically discharged after being found wandering around ships or barracks at night. Officers fear they could harm themselves by going on deck in darkness and falling overboard. That's another thing I hadn't thought
Well,
of.
yeah,
actually.
yeah.
There is that.
Safety for themselves.
Were they walking with their arms out in front like zombies as well?
Do people generally do that when they sleep talk?
I don't know.
I don't think they do.
But it would have been.
They should. You should
They
be.
should.
There should be something that makes people do that, so you know.
Yeah.
There should be an app
Yeah.
that stimulates the
I
arms.
imagine people generally have their arms out so they
Stimulates
don't walk
the
into
arms.
things.
There should be an app so that when you get up at night, your arms automatically are out, like you're like a zombie. There should be.
Stimulates the arms.
There should be a zombie app where you can slip like a probe under a mate's scalp.
Yeah.
and
Just behind the ear.
Just behind the ear, and you've got your app. And you can. They don't know, but while they're asleep, you can now just use nerve impulses. Very basic
What,
control.
radio-controlled mates?
Yes, it's very basic. So you're just sitting there, and there's a mate of yours asleep, but you can say you can get or get up and then go and get you
Johnny,
like a cup of tea.
It's a brilliant idea.
That is a really good idea.
Because you
Stop
need
telling people.
You need the basics.
Yeah.
For instance, they could just go down the shop with like a tenner in their pocket.
Yeah.
And then the off license just have a special like a box on their head or a rucksack.
Yeah.
And the off license just fills it up, or
Just
you go to
load him up,
Sainsbury's,
yeah.
they just load him up, and he just comes back. It's like the wrong trousers.
So much cheaper.
Essentially,
Wrong
what I'm talking about. In fact, that's the answer. They should never mind these hoverboards. Wrong trousers.
No,
That's
it's
what we want.
better. It's so much cheaper than making a robot. Because
It
a
is.
person can do all the walking
Yes,
and
exactly
carrying
right. This is
already.
my point about how we're already in a cyborg society. A lot of in China, a lot of the businesses that have been done there, a lot of the industries only carry on because it's impossible to get a robot or to mechanise sewing because you really need hands.
Yeah.
But essentially, it's a cyborg situation. They're using the human brain and thumbs enmeshed with machinery to become
It's coming,
something.
isn't it? It's coming.
And that's how I feel whenever I rent a van. Suddenly I am half man, half van. It takes over.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
What did we hear 2 weeks ago? What meat was suddenly unhealthy?
Bacon.
And sausages, processed meat.
Thank you. The world's oldest person never drank or smoked, which is odd because normally in the papers they do.
Yeah.
Well, she put it down to drinking a bottle of brandy every day
That's
and
right.
smoking 60 Super Kings. She wheezed out 108 candles. Okay, the world's oldest person never drank or smoked, but her family put her longevity down to a surprising ingredient. Bacon. I wonder when the bacon boys would start blasting back. Right?
Yeah.
I wonder when, let's see, Return of the Bacai.
When the meat processing industry.
Yeah, when the meat
fought
program
back.
will fight back, don't worry. We've got 116-year-old swears by bacon, get her on the radio. Pull the mercy lever, get that death bolt in. Susanna Mushat-Jones, who reached the age of 116 in July, is one of only 2 survivors of the 19th century left. There's only 2 of them, yeah, I know. And when she was born in Alabama, July 6th, 1899, Queen Victoria still ruled the British Empire, while the first Model T car and New York City subway were all several years away. She has a passion for food, especially bacon. That was the key to her long life.
You don't have to have a passion for bacon.
But
It's delicious.
I do.
No, but everyone's got a passion who likes...
Yeah, and also, just because someone likes one particular type of food doesn't mean that's what's kept her alive all this time.
Yeah, good point,
Doesn't have to be a
Sunta.
direct correlation between
Completely
the two.
Sunta, she's 116. They're saying bacon's bad for you. Breakfast includes 4 rashers of bacon and scrambled eggs,
Maybe
toast
it was
and
the
juice.
eggs that kept her alive.
Lunch tends to be meat and 2 veg. She then loves spare ribs, chicken, lamb, duck and fish.
With bacon.
With bacon. And it says bacon. It's got a picture of her here, and she hasn't got any
She's holding
bacon.
some bacon.
No, she looks elderly and frail, but you can see bacon in her eyes. I know that look. I do it myself. When I go into the kitchen, I think, bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon.
Bacon.
Bacon. I just wish they did a bacon-flavoured joss stick.
Yeah. Or bacon sprinkles for your coffee.
Oh, man, don't. Don't know you're veggie. Does bacon not...
No.
No, but still, it's often the one that makes veggies crack.
It is, I've heard
They
this.
crack.
It is.
They can't take it.
I don't like the smell of bacon. I quite like bacon bits, which are actually vegetarian.
Yeah.
Are they? Okay, here's a mystery then. Why is it when you get vegetarian bacon, it's always that way round? Why can't I buy Brussels sprouts made of real meat? Why is it never that way round? Why is it never lettuce that's actually made of bacon for meat eaters? It's like it's accepted.
Then it's just bacon.
No, because they make it green, and they said it actually looks like rocket, but is in fact bacon. Like you get those long strips of potato that looks like sausages. I'm thinking, well, just keep it potatoes, fine.
Yeah.
They can deal with that.
Yeah.
Or veggie sausages. But I'm saying I never get like a cauliflower steak. You know. Cauliflower's actually made of whole chunks of meat.
Yeah.
But it looks like cauliflower.
Maybe there's a market in that.
I doubt it. Go on. Just another flight of fancy.
Johnny Vaughan. Radio X.
Radio X.
Does your mum rock? Does your mum rock?
Yeah, she does.
Okay, your name is Evie. I've got down here your name is Evie Perfect! Is that right? Is that a stage name or a real name?
No, that's my real name.
Well, your name is Evie Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's just awesome.
What a brilliant name.
That's
Thank
unbelievable. Well, no one's changed anything along the way.
No.
You've just bowled along in life and showed up on Radio X Friday, 18th December, 6:29 as Evie Perfect with a rockin' mum.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to think we're crazy to think you're all alone in this universe. Yes. Okay, tell us about your mum.
So my mum went to see Stereophonics the other night at the O2.
And did she come
And
home
she-
very late?
Yes.
And what sort of
And
state was...
she absolutely loves them.
Does she?
Loves them. She went to see them a couple of years ago as well, but this time she was standing.
She actually got standing tickets? Was she,
Yeah, her and my dad went.
So she used to sit, now stands. She's getting more
Yeah.
rocking. Okay, good.
Yeah.
What else? What else has she done? Roughly how old's your ma?
Mid-40s.
Okay, that's good. We can just keep it like that's fine. And tell me
Yeah.
about her kind of pedigree. I mean, I don't mean her family's name. I mean, you know, what's her rocking past? Do you know?
Well,
anything
she
about
was a goth when she was younger.
She was
and
a
she had like
fantastic.
crazy red hair.
Okay, that's good. Was goth.
Yeah.
Okay, and does she ever pull out very embarrassing pictures or embarrassing pictures
Oh, yeah.
found of her gothic past?
Yeah, definitely.
Does any? Could you describe any of them particularly? The sort of get that we're looking at.
Well, so there's one where she's in like a very dark navy blue dress, and she's got her hair like it's huge and it's like fire red.
Is
Nice.
it crimped and back?
Is it really? Is she really worked on that?
It's like a fountain.
It's like a fountain made of hair.
Yeah.
Okay, and do you know what music she was digging back then? Like Jane's Addiction.
Well, my auntie ran the fan club for Teardrop Explodes.
Oh,
Okay, that's kind of a bit more new romantic.
Yeah.
I tell you what,
They knew Julian Coates, so they used to like meet up with him and then go
Did
to
they?
drinks.
wow.
Wow, Julian
yeah,
Coates is
there
a
was
bit of a
like
hero
one.
of mine.
Yeah, there was like one time where my grandma she stayed in the car because she was taking them home, and they invited her in for a drink, and she sat with Julian and had a cup of tea.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
Your mum rocks. What's her name? What's her name?
Jackie.
Her name's Jackie. Jackie Perfect.
Yeah,
That's such a good name.
She could just fit in any band, like,
Yeah,
like
straight
Motley,
away.
Jackie Perfect out of Motley Crue.
Yeah, no manager's going to go, well, we've got to do something about your name.
I don't think Jackie.
Yeah.
Jackie Perfect, especially for someone who really rocks.
Yeah.
Jackie.
Yeah.
On guitar, Jackie Perfect. Listen, Eve, it's been lovely talking to you. Send my love
Yeah, you
and happy
too.
Christmas to your mum, Jackie. Lots
You
of love.
too.
Happy Christmas to you. Please tell all your friends about Radio X and Johnny Vaughan 4 till 7 thing.
I will
Thank you
do.
so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've met the perfect Evie Perfect. Your mum rocks.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
X.
That was the podcast. Hope you enjoyed that. Sunday, did you enjoy that?
I did very much.
Okay, then. What did we just hear? Yeah.
We heard some heroes from Gav.
All right, answer that and stay fashionable.
We heard at least one.
Yeah, we did. We certainly did. That's all we know, because it's a hero. What's that from? Answer that and stay fashionable. Yeah. Oh. You know those quotes you've just had all your life? I think it's probably Comic Strip Presents from years ago.
Sort of thing a sort of bullying teacher would say.
Answer that and stay fashionable.
Yeah. Vaughan.
Oh, 83936, or just tweet us at Radio X if you've listened to this podcast and you instantly know the answer. Where's that quote from? Answer that and stay fashionable. God, man, it's going to bother me all weekend.